Okay, better to explain it in English because it requires a little bit. Gold is rare. Today, it's valuable. In reality, gold is not a rare element on Earth. Take a bunch of soil, anywhere on Earth. There will be a little bit of gold inside because the gold element doesn't want to stick either to itself or to other elements. So it's not also toxic. This is why you can cover your teeth with gold. It's non-toxic. It doesn't react with anything. But the problem is when an element doesn't react with anything, it doesn't merge and it doesn't come to surface easily, and gold is very heavy. This is why gold is globally quite common, but when you want to have a piece of gold, it is very rare. Because, for instance, copper, iron, titanium, and all other elements has a lot of tendency to stick, for instance, to oxygen. So when they find oxygen, they stick. When they find sulfur, they stick, and then we become a group of oxygen and iron. So oxidized iron, we take it to the oven, make a big fire, remove the oxygen, and what you have? A piece of iron or a piece of copper, which we call smelting. This is how it works. But in gold, it doesn't work because gold doesn't want to stick almost anything, almost. In the molten lava, it's deep inside and it wants to come to surface, but it cannot stick. It's dry, but it slides. In very rare cases, the gold, it doesn't stick very strongly, but it sticks. Quartz. If you make a bath in the Pactolus River, it's believed that you will cover it with gold because you will find these rocks which are very white or in milk color, and with inside you will see very pure small pieces of gold. And it was very easy at that time. It was very easy to you break it and grind it, make it dust, and take a pan, as the gold is very, very heavy. So if you make it in the pan, all the other elements will be spread out. You take it away, and in the middle you will have gold. It was very easy because this area, this is the Menderes Massive. This is a very, very old and very, very hard rock. It's almost 300 million years old. A part of it is in Turkey. The rest is in Greece. It's a big belt. So these rocks has inside these small pieces of rocks which can carry gold. It doesn't mean that wherever you find a quartzite you will find gold, but I assure you, find 100 places which has quartzite. In one of them, at least in one of them, you will find gold. And this is the ancient way of collecting gold because it doesn't require chemistry. Today, what we are doing, today these are called actually phenocrystals. When the gold is big enough to see with your naked eye, it's coming from the Greek word pheneta, phenome. Phenocrystals, so you can see it with your naked eye and you can grind it and take the gold out. But these mines, also in this area, has long been exploited because people in the ancient time, they realized that, okay, there is the white rock, and within the white rock, there is gold. And this white rock is actually, they are called vein, like the veins on our, where the blood is streaming. So you find, okay, you say, oh, there's a white rock. And you begin to break it, it goes like this, and you're following the gold. You don't need to break everywhere else. So this is a very nice rock. It carries gold. When it stops, you don't need to break up. But today, this kind of phenocrystal gold is very rare because ancient people recognized it and used it and make all these gold coins. And today what is remaining is this. Now you have gold inside. Here in this rock, if there is a gold vein, probably 3-4% of the rock will be gold, which is a very, very high concentration. Within months, you will become very rich. And the Lydian kingdom became extremely rich. They become extremely rich. So there are lots of richness and gold saying in Anatolia, in Greece, all related with Lydians, Paktolos River and
Now
stuff.
we say Paktolos χρημάτων.
Bravo, yeah, which means being very, very rich. But today, as this
It's a river,
yeah, yeah. Start now in Turkish we call it Sart Çayı. Çay is the stream, the small river. Today, this is easy gold. Easy gold is gone. Ancient people consumed it, and now we have gold inside. Usually, you don't see it. To see it, if there's a gold inside, you have to study chemistry or even geochemistry, which is a higher level of chemistry. You take soil, mix it with very strong acids. These acids dissolve some of the metals, you remove it, and then you mix it with, unfortunately, some very nasty, very bad chemicals, like cyanide. Cyanide is extremely poisonous. Cyanide kills everything. Human, plant, bird, microbia. It is the biggest, let's say, poison on earth. But
Υδροκιάνιο. Υδροκιάνιο.
No.
Υδροκιάνιο.
hydrocyania.
Hydrocyania.
But it has something good. As majority of the chemicals do not want to mix with gold, cyanide says, okay, gold, come together, I want to hug you. So if you say that maybe in this area there may be gold. So you afterwards, if you mix it with cyanide, the cyanide will collect all the golds, but nothing else. And then you remove the cyanide and you have gold inside. But this is, let's say, today, if you want to make it economical, it is around 10 to 15 grams per ton, which means that you take this is the block of rock, you make it dust like a floor, and this is what you will get as a gold inside. And this is all over the world, this is how you have gold. These golds are produced like this. From this big of rock, you get this big of gold. But as there is machinery, huge amount of rocks are continuously being ground, and then you have a flow line of production. But before, it was this rock, and this is important because this easy gold, actually, it's not only important to have gold. Gold is a useless metal. Gold has no use. You cannot make weapon from gold. You cannot make an arrow from gold. It will disassemble very easily. It's very soft. Today we use it in electronics, but for thousands of years there were no electronics and no use. It was only for jewelry. But what is important? Extracting gold, especially in Sardes, in Lydia, taught us how we can extract metals from earth. This motivated human mentality to extract something coming out of earth. And afterwards, we found other elements. We found this, we found that, and now our periodic table has
120.
120, of which 98 is natural, the rest is synthesized. So this is not only gold, but this is one of the places that human realized that there are metals, they are found in certain veins, so we need to find veins. Now today, the higher level of geology, people who study geology, people who study mining, what they are looking for, there is a there is a blue-green corridor. And you say, okay, we are getting close. Where you have a blue-green corridor, probably you are getting close to copper, and it will make you rich. And why this is also very important, because Greece and Turkey are the countries where not only our civilization, but the humanity has learned and improved metallurgy. Here, the human learned how to extract metal from the earth, how to purify it, and afterwards, how to mix it with other metals to make alloys, to make them stronger, to make them even more useful. And there is a good reason why it was not in Canada, but it was in Greece and Turkey. First of all, there were not humans on Canada at that time to do it. But when Italy, Greece, Turkey was not a land, but they were covered with an ocean, the Tethys Ocean, and then the African plate has suppressed us towards north, and it was squeezed, and the mountains, and little by little the Greek and Anatolian land arose from the ocean bed. And at that time there were lots of volcanic activity within the ocean, in the Tethys Ocean, and it was mixing to the rocks. And where there is volcanism, you may expect metals, especially precious metals, gold, silver, copper, titanium, platinum. And of course, the problem was, as Tethys Ocean was 3,000, 4,000 meters deep, there were no possibility to go down, dig it, and come to the surface. For God's sake, the ocean bed became land, and afterwards it became mountain. So when it became mountain, another beautiful thing has happened. The overlaying mud and strata has eroded by the rains, and now in Greece and in Turkey especially, we have a long corridor of metals. This is only one on earth. This is the biggest, this is the most richest one, which is called the Tethyan metallogeny belt. It actually starts from north of Romania and then comes from Thessaloniki, like a belt, enters to Anatolia from Çanakkale to Smyrna, and then it ends up in Afghanistan. But it's a narrow corridor, and majority of the elements that make us modern civilization has been found in this belt. So it was the luck of ancient people to be on this very, very rich, because here you have almost all sorts of metals, elements, and they are relatively easy to reach, except one thing, the tin. The tin is required to mix with copper and to make it bronze. So for the Bronze Age, we need to go other end of the belt, because especially Cyprus, copper is the land of copper. So to start the Bronze Age after copper is good but not strong enough. We need something better than the copper. Iron is hard. To smelt iron, you require a lot of skills. We need almost 500 years to smelt iron. But there was something in the midway. If you mix copper, which is very easy to smelt, which is very abundant in Greece and in Anatolia, but it is soft. But if you mix a little bit of tin with copper, then you have bronze. Bronze is beautiful. Its color is something between gold and copper, and it is very nice, and it is very hard. You can make weaponry. Moreover, you can make farming equipment we need farming for civilization, but tin doesn't exist on this part of this belt, but on the other hand, in Afghanistan has huge amount of tin, but not too much copper. So these people on Anatolian and Greek land has learned to make trade with the far end of this belt, with the people of Afghanistan, north of Iran, getting tin, smelting them here. But the fun story is, although on the other end of this land, in Afghanistan, on the Tethyan metallogeny belt, or the Tethyan metalliferous, metal-giving, metal-rich belt, although they had a lot of tin, they didn't knew smelting. They were selling the tin to Greece and Anatolia with high prices, but they didn't improve this culture. So this is another reason why there is so much huge condensation of archaeology, cultures and events in Greece and in Anatolian land. And in the very, very beginning of this attitude, this rock, today we will see it on its original place, is up there. You see on the horizon those hills and the mountains. You will see those hills. We can continue. It was the small story of the Lydian gold, general metallurgy, cultures, archaeology, because if you don't have weapons, you cannot build civilization. If you don't have weaponry, you cannot defend your land, even if you have, let's say, skillful people. So you have created all these monuments, all these temples to the gods, to the goddess, but there are other people who believe in other gods and other gods, and they want to conquer you. You have to defend yourself. And they have swords and shields of copper. You have something better. You win. This is how ancient Greece, both in the Greek land, in Anatolia, has dominated the world for a long period of time. It's partly related with geology. Okay, let's go. Pame.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, wherever you find, I will show you the origin of this place. Wherever you find this, it means that you are on a very active fault and earthquake place. So which means that the earth, which is feeding you, supporting you with gold, minerals, metals, so that you can create big temples to the gods, probably sooner or later will take you down with earthquakes. And this has happened exactly here. The main reason this archaeological site was destroyed was because of series of earthquakes. And this is called a melanite rock. This is how it formed. So consider that we are on a fault line. It's a big fault line. This is where the earthquake is happening. And this is one moving part, and this is another moving part. Consider billion and billion tons of rocks in seconds just crashing each other like. It grains like 500 meters this way, 500 meters this way. It makes the whole rock surface pebble. It's so big pressure, so big. And when the earthquake stops in 80 seconds, in 1 minute, it stops. And everything settles for another 5,000 years. And as this is karstic rock, it begins to merge itself and create this reform, the broken parts into a new rock. Those people liked it, but they never knew that this was their death sentence. This is their death. This will kill them sooner or later. Today we know. Today, wherever we find this kind of rock, we realize that okay, this is the exact fault line. This is the epicenter, and you may expect this can be a fossil, this can be an active, and very ironically, they have adorned these earthquake made rocks to their temples, which was destroyed by the earthquakes. Let's go. This is our bed fate. Greece, Turkey, and partly Italy. Sooner or later, we will pay the price of our precious land, which has minerals, beauties, waterfalls, gorges, and stuff. Why? Why Germany is flat, featureless? Okay. I shouldn't say the country name. Okay, Central Europe. It's flat, featureless, and boring. You go off and you just drive like, oh, I'm sleeping. You go and nothing changes. But in Greece, you have to drive like this. Just, whoa, whoa, you're going down and you're rising. Oh, this is water. Hey, man, look inside. You are going to the coast. You will fall into the sea. Why everything continuously changes here? This change also made the people mind very, very rich. Those people in the ancient time, they have seen this, they have seen that. So in their imaginary, they have created, let's say, a shadow of this landscape, which made them consider the art, which is a very big inspiration of the ancient people. They were very inspired by the nature. And this area, why we have so much of things one over another? Majority of them is related with this earthquake region, because this earthquake which breaks the land, makes something over, fall another thing, push something over, and make another downside. It continuously changes. It takes the gold from bottom, bring to the front. It makes a flat plan, and then make. You have in Samaria Gorge, you have suddenly in hundreds of meters deep. This is beautiful, but there is something behind. Who is making it? Unfortunately, this is not archaeology. This is not mythology. This is not history. This is actual, because this land right now in Greece, in Turkey, this system is going on, and it will make the same story again. So we are the countries, we have to more understand our land, our earth, our dynamics. Yes, please. Ah,
Ay,
na, na, tak. Πάμε.